In the world of artificial intelligence, there have always been giants, titans of code and silicon, setting the rules of the game for everybody else. But today, we're not talking about science fiction. We're talking about a fundamental shift in the balance of power, a real one. You know the names. These are the frontier models, the absolute peak of what AI can do. And for years, the message from the mountaintop has been crystal clear. That kind of power? Well, that kind of power comes with a price. And it is a steep price. Take one of the big ones, Claude Opus. To get just 1 million tokens of output from it, you're looking at $75. Now, that's not just a fee, you understand. It's a wall. It's a barrier designed to keep the most powerful intelligence on this planet a luxury item. But the rules are about to change. And this is where our story takes a turn. Because out of all that noise, a new signal is starting to break through. A new contender that, frankly, doesn't seem to care about the old rules of cost and performance. I want you to meet MiniMax M2.7. Now, look at this chart. On a key test for software engineering, it scores 56.22%. And that bar right next to it, that's Claude Opus, one of the titans we just talked about. Their scores, they're practically identical. This new model is playing in the big leagues, no question about it. So you'd think, okay, same performance, same price tag, right? Heh, wrong. Not even close. While Opus is sitting up there at $75, M2.7 is $1.20. I'm going to say that again, $1.20. Go ahead and let that sink in for a minute. Elite, top-tier performance for a price that just completely shatters the old way of doing things.
If you want to put a single number on it, here it is. It's a 60-fold difference. 60. This isn't just a small step forward. This is a leap. This is a fundamental disruption to the entire system.
Which brings us to the main event, this central question. How in the world is this possible? Well, the answer isn't just in the code. It's in how it was born. You see, the secret behind this model isn't just some clever engineering trick. It's a whole new philosophy, a process that feels less like programming and more like evolution itself. They call it recursive self-optimization. Now, here's the crucial part. The model wasn't just trained by humans. At a certain point, it became its own trainer. It literally learned to find its own mistakes, its own weaknesses, and then teach itself how to be better. And this is how it did it. It's a loop. First, it analyzes where it failed. Then, it plans out the exact changes needed to fix the problem. After that, and this is the wild part, it modifies its own underlying code. Finally, it runs the tests all over again to see if it worked. A completely autonomous cycle of self-improvement. And the results? They speak for themselves. The model ran this loop over 100 times. The result was a 30% jump in performance. And the kicker? Zero. And I mean zero human intervention in that loop. The AI was managing its own upgrade. But that self-evolution is only half the story. The other key to all this is how the thing is actually built. Its architecture is something called a Sparse Mixture-of-Experts, and it's an engine designed from the ground up for one thing, radical efficiency. Think of it like this. The model has a massive library in its head, 230 billion parameters worth of knowledge. But for any one job, it doesn't need the whole library. It just pulls out a small, specialized handful of experts, about 10 billion parameters. So you get the wisdom of a giant with the speed and the cost of something much, much smaller. So, okay, that's how it was built. Now let's talk about the so what. What happens when you unleash this new kind of engine out into the world? What can it actually do for you? Well, this thing is a workhorse. It can handle whole software projects from beginning to end. It can dive into system logs and hunt down bugs. And it's a beast in the office too, handling complex jobs in Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. In fact, it's got the highest score of any model out there for professional office work. Now, this is crucial. M2.7 isn't some standalone chatbot you talk to. No, think of it as the engine inside the car. It's built to be integrated directly into the tools people are already using, powering a whole new generation of autonomous systems. So when you put it all together, that elite skill and that crazy affordability, you get a brand new economic reality. You get a democratization of power that was, until now, reserved only for the biggest players in the game. let's just look at the raw numbers one more time. You put them side by side like this, it's not even a fair fight. And for anyone doing complex work at a high volume, this difference, it isn't just about saving a few bucks. It makes entirely new ideas, entirely new businesses possible for the very first time. So why does all this matter? Because when intelligence this powerful becomes this accessible, complex automation stops being a luxury, it becomes the new standard. It means the ability to build sophisticated, multi-step agents is now in the hands of, well, everyone. You know, the creators at MiniMax said it best themselves. They called this model an early echo of that direction, not the destination. Think about that. This isn't the end game. This is just the first tremor of a world where AI starts to take an active role in its own creation. And that leaves us with one last profound thought. If this is what the very first generation of a self-evolving AI can do, then the real question isn't about what this model can accomplish today. The real question is what its children, the models it will help build, will be able to teach themselves tomorrow.